chatting a little bit while we're getting ready for that. Um, I I feel like this far after the pandemic, we'd be much better at like virtual meetings, than we are. But like the number of times that I still accidentally have myself on mute and I just talk to myself because nobody else can hear it. Um, but maybe it's just a thing we're not supposed to be good at or something.
You never
Just
know.
me. I don't know.
Oh no, I still can't connect half of my stuff most of the time. But
Really?
yeah, we were uh we were not a super Zoom heavy organization where I was during the pandemic. So I didn't get just fully integrated into it. But now here we
Yeah.
all are doing it every month all the time.
Look at us. We our IT team wouldn't let us use Zoom because we
Yeah,
saw the
y'all
horror
are
stories from other municipalities when they like people would jump in and hijack the audio on the meetings and stuff like that. And we were like, we don't want that. So we're a full WebEx shop now, which is the bane of most people's existence because for some reason people have to download a special WebEx thing and it complicates everybody's processes. Welcome everybody that's coming in. We're going to get started here in just a second. We were just talking about the growing pains of virtual meetings and how fun all of that is when um, the technology seems to uh, confound a lot of us. Talk
but
amongst
these webinars
yourselves.
don't count.
No,
We
no,
have
no.
way too much
Webinars.
fun during the webinars.
Yeah, no, no, no. This is I think as far as I'm going to knock on some wood, as far as technology goes, like this one works relatively smoothly, except for last month. Um, I had a hiccup. I was using my computer at a retirement event for the slideshow, and I didn't manage my time well and I ended up having to use my phone for the webinar. And I don't know if anybody was watching it, but the angle was like I was trying to take a selfie the whole time, looking down, and I couldn't see. I didn't have a confidence view like I do on my on my laptop, so I had no idea what I looked like. And everybody on my team was like, "Yeah, don't do that again, please." Uh, so I apologize to everybody that had to watch that. I don't recommend if you're going to go back and just turn the video off or hide the screen so you can hear the audio, but you don't have to look at me awkwardly staring down at my phone the whole time. Looks like we're pretty well settled. So I think we're gonna go ahead and kick this thing off. Welcome everybody to our, I can't find my mouse now. Okay. To our February 2026 Tamio webinar. We are so excited to have you all here. We're joined today by our friend Diana Hernandez with the City of Grand Prairie. She's going to be talking to us about their TAMI award-winning campaign to build bridges with their Hispanic community. Their population is almost half Hispanic or Latino, and
Mhm.
they developed this campaign, AmorGP, to connect with that audience in new and unique and fascinating ways, and to really develop that, the essence of what we're all trying to do, which is that engaging, that genuine engagement with the whole community and how to be effective in that. So we're excited to learn more about this. Just some housekeeping things as we're going along. We will save time for questions. Feel free to use the Q&A feature in your window to submit questions. Feel free to plug in the comments as well. We'll do some shout outs. No giveaways this month. I'm sorry, I ran out of prizes, but we will be happy to bring in some of those conversations. We'd love to see that engagement. So with that, Diana, if you want to take it away, the show is yours.
Yes, thank you, Joshua. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this webinar and learning more about the City of Grand Prairie's AmorGP campaign. My name is Diana Hernandez, and I'm the Public Relations Specialist for the City of Grand Prairie. So let's get into it. Um, So about 2 years ago, we discovered that about, like Joshua said, about half of Grand Prairie residents are Hispanic Latino, according to the latest census estimates. Um, and by discovering this, we also discovered that this is the largest percentage of any other city in North Texas. So we got to work towards incorporating our city's evolving identity into our messaging. And we decided to start this by creating a brand. We did one of our interns, she did some research on the logo and discovered that the Talavera design was a consistent piece of art that was resonant across many Latin countries. As you can see here, I don't know if it's something that you guys have seen or kind of feel a little familiar towards. But whenever she found this research, she discovered that this design has been around since the 16th century. And it's been used in like architectural construction, like in tiles, in outdoor and indoor decorations. And of course, it's widely known for being used as tableware as well. This style of art has transcended past like innovation and technology by keeping true to its traditional roots in Latin culture as well. It's very known for like the high quality and the beauty, as you know, for just like the unique design that it has. And we were so inspired by this that our idea was to put the Hispanic culture at the heart of our branding and our decisions. And we wanted to ensure that residents were going to see their culture reflected in the city government through meaningful representation. So like there was other designs that she had created as well, or she had seen and suggested, but this one just kind of hit home for all of us. And so our next objective was to create the website. Our goal was to provide Hispanic residents with an easily accessible website translated into their native language. Our website received an enthusiastic response from both community members and city staff, attracting 2,180 views. And the surge in views was accompanied by an increase in user activity, which with each active user showing 5 times more engagement, suggesting that the city's site's content was highly valuable and engaging with everybody that would click on the website. And to this day, we still have like great engagement with the people that go to our website as well. We wanted to merge the Hispanic heritage into our official city calendar and our website to show that this culture is an essential part of our city's identity. So for anybody that's creating a campaign similar to this, I will say that it just speaks volumes whenever you try to incorporate, you know, the roots of that community as well. And my favorite part was the giveaways during our events. We had a $3,000 budget for our giveaways, which included the stickers, the cantaritos, the bracelets, and the t-shirts and paletas. The t-shirts and paletas were something that we did exclusively for our employees, which I'm going to talk about in the next slide. We use these giveaways as icebreakers to spark conversations with our residents. One of the fan favorites were the cantaritos because all of the residents that would come up to us would all say that they could use these cantaritos as shot glasses, and they found it amusing. So they would bring their family and friends over to our table and, you know, basically wipe us out of all the cantaritos. But I feel like it also brought a sense of celebratory joy as well. Whenever they would leave, they would be like, well, we can take little shots at home, you know what I mean? With like the AmorGP logo and everything. So I thought that was really cool. And one of the interesting stories about the bracelets, they were specifically made in Guatemala. It took about 2 to 3 months for us to receive them. Because we got them from a little village in Guatemala. So just getting it transported over here took a while, but we were able to engage with our residents by telling them that story as well. And I think it brought more of a genuine, you know, connection with like the things that we were offering the community as well. One of the conversational pieces that we would focus on was by trying to tell everybody that we were trying to create trust between the city government and its Spanish-speaking residents. Of course, that was like one of the main reasons why the campaign was created. Aside from the giveaways, we also offered an informational card with the website's QR code because the whole point of the giveaways was to drive engagement to our website. And next up is our internal campaign, which was we give away free paletas and t-shirts to our employees on, it was on Mexican Independence Day, September 16th. We distributed this information through our newsletter, as you can see right here, to all city staff, and which had an open rate of 53%. Prior to that, we only averaged 40% of people opening up our newsletter. So we gained a great jump in openings just from that newsletter. You know, who's going to say no to free t-shirts and paletas, right? So it was one of our highest open newsletter rates from publicating it in Constant Contact. And during the event, we handed out 400 paletas and 350 t-shirts. Around 420 employees attended our Hispanic Heritage event. And honestly, to this day, everybody loves the t-shirts so much that, you know, we still see them wearing it around every Friday. And they're very proud to wear that shirt. And we also have residents asking us how they can get one of the shirts as well. Just the bright colors and the branding of it all really, you know, hits home to our staff and our residents. And next up is our video series. This is a really cool, I feel like this video series really impacted a lot of our residents, just the way that it was created and produced, because we wanted to show that the Hispanic leaders and city staff are running the city. And these are people that look and speak like the residents. You know what I mean? We're not any different than the general population out there. And so this video series was also very impactful in the way that it generated like more positive feedback from the community as well. We highlighted community influencers in the series, like Joe Savala, who runs a barbecue restaurant, and Virgil Ortiz, who's a well-known boxer. And this video right here was from our employee event. So I'm gonna hit it so you guys can kind of see a little bit of what we're talking about. Okay, let me go back. And this video series was so impactful that recently we won an Emmy as well. So that's a very proud moment that we have here at the City of Grand Prairie. And next up, we also created a billboard acknowledging Hispanic pride, and the billboard reads, Orgullo que une, ciudad que crece, which English, it translates to pride that unites and city that grows. The billboard ran throughout the month of September. The billboard was located on Main Street, which is one of our popular roads leading to our downtown area. we reached approximately 3,224 people. And it garnered a lot of positive feedback from the community as well, just like the artwork. And, people actually felt like they were being seen within the community by creating something so beautifully, so beautifully created. And then finally, I just wanted to show that we had a lot of wonderful wonderful engagement and comments from the community too. Everybody really resonated with the campaign. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on the campaign?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and kick it off. So, talk to us a little bit more about the vendor that you used for um, the bracelets. How did y'all go about sourcing that and making that final decision?
We did, my boss initially wanted to do something from just like for imprint, something regular, but I pushed wanting to do something authentic, that came from a Latin, that it was actually, handmade and from a Latin country, because it
Yeah.
had more of a unique story behind it as well. So even though it took a while for us to receive it, it has such a unique and cool history to it.
Well, and I'm a firm believer as well that like authenticity comes through, you know. Things don't have to
Mhm.
be perfect, but they have to feel genuine. They have to feel like, like if people can tell when things are mass produced. And sometimes
Mhm.
there's certainly there's a time and a place for that. But we do a lot of our own small scale merchandising because I'm a firm believer that things that are made in small batches with love that have, maybe some imperfections are much more valuable than like something you bought 10,000 of or whatever that just have a
Mhm.
logo slapped on them. Um, so that's
And
really cool.
with that being said too, like you actually can feel the energy behind that.
Yeah.
Like that energy is
Yeah.
felt with even whatever little products that you buy. People see the intention behind it.
Yeah, for sure. Where did you get where did you source the cantoritos from?
Oh, the cantaritos, we got them from Amazon.
Oh, no
Because they
kidding.
were small, yeah. And then we bought stickers for them, and we just, stuck the stickers on there, and people
That's
loved
so
them.
awesome.
Yeah, people would leave and they'll be like, "We're gonna take shots at home."
Well, now I want to get some for Tamio. So, I think it's a great idea. So I mean, I love, all of the colors and the branding. Um, how, what was did it start with the brand design and then you built out from there, or how did you develop the concept of that brand relative to the overall campaign?
Yes, it was started from the brand design,
Okay.
from picking out the colors, picking out the logo, and then from there it just kind of snowballed and evolved into the giveaways and the website and everything else that we created from it.
That is so cool. And you said you had an intern that helped come up with these concepts. How long did it take, and how many people were involved in shaping all of that?
It was like about 4 to 5 of us. She was the one that kind of helped us with finding out the logo and the design of it. And then I was the one that sourced like the giveaways and finding the events for us to go to, the t-shirt design as well. For the billboard, we had our graphic designer. And
Hmm.
then Eric Alvarez, he's the one that created the video series. And
Mm,
he had such a passion for that as well, just to make sure that the community was represented as us versus as individuals. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think that really helped out a lot too, just like his vision of making sure that the community sees itself pridefully as a whole.
yeah, for sure. Um, I think it's easy, especially with campaigns this size and this complex, for them to lose effectiveness over time or to become, sort
Mhm.
of unruly, like hard to keep contained. How did y'all go about keeping it focused to, to make sure you sort of saw it through to the end to like, okay, we've been successful here. Like, what's the key to success for y'all with a campaign like this?
I think the key to success is, like I mentioned before, just our intention behind it. We wanted to make sure that it's something that we could use year after year because we used this campaign again this in 2025, and we just kind of extended it and made it bigger. And one of it, some of the things that we added was just like a bigger event in September that we did, and then we also created a Dolores Huerta Day, an official
Mm,
holiday for it. So
hmm.
just to kind of show our Spanish speaking residents that, their identity is a part of the city by creating a holiday. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
um, it's something that's going to resonate for years to come.
Well, and that branding carries it so far too. I mean, the more consistent you are with that, and the more places it shows up, like people asking, for the employee shirts and things like that. If there's an appetite for it, then it carries weight, and just those representations can help expand and grow that the impact of that over time, which I think is
Yes,
really cool.
exactly.
So,
Because
is
every
this?
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Oh yes, because to this day, like even I'm wearing my shirt, and I'll go to like the grocery store or the gasoline station, and people will ask me, "Where did you get that shirt from?"
Yeah.
And I tell them that it's from the city. You know what I mean? And they ask me, "How can I get one?" They really connect to it.
Yeah, that is so cool. Eva Martinez asked, or being asked, let's see, she said, do you feel like the campaign brought in more Hispanic and Latino engagement to your socials overall, even with content that wasn't Hispanic focused?
I think it did, definitely, because even through all the comments that we've received, we have a lot more Spanish speaking residents just feeling more comfortable being able to engage in our socials.
Yeah. And I guess a kind of follow-up question, one of the things I was wondering about, have you considered or do you have any plans for community surveys and things like that to measure that scientifically or for future campaigns?
Honestly, it's not something that we've thought about recently, but now that you've mentioned it, I think that's something that we can incorporate for the future.
Yeah, I'd be curious about that just from like a sentiment engagement perspective. If
Hmm.
that's how that's evolving over time. I'm sure it is. I mean, it's obvious that the response to this campaign is overwhelmingly positive. I would just love to see uh, all of the other unintended positive consequences of it because I'm sure they're everywhere in your community.
Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely. I think one of the ways that we see it is we host about two different parades each year too. One for Cinco de Mayo and one for Fiestas Patrias in September. And each year, both of them just keep growing. The
mm,
attendance, the people that want to be a part of the parade. So I definitely see it, resonating with the community more.
Yeah, for sure. Um, as far as like campaign development and growth, you said obviously this is an annual thing where you can kind of grow it year over year. Uh, do you see like natural opportunities for places for this to grow? Like, you look back at the previous year and say, oh, here's another place where we can inject that. Or what does that process look like when you're doing your hot washes on this?
Yeah, I think one of the ways is just through the different types of events that we create. So last year we also created a health fair event that
Hmm.
focused on diabetes wellness for because
Oh.
that's a hot topic with the Hispanic community. A lot of people, there's a high rate of people that have diabetes. Um,
Hmm.
within that community, so we want to try to like target that a little bit more in the years to come and make a real impact in the wellness area.
And where you what's driving that research? Are you getting any input from your administration or who's shaping that?
One of our city council leaders. He's the
Mm.
one that he's done the research, and he's also done. I mean, he also has a couple of clinics, so he knows that population better than anybody else. And he's the main reason why we've been kind of wanting to push it a little bit more as well.
That's really great. Um, as far as the campaign itself, obviously you had some budget for merchandising and different things like that. Was it difficult to build support, or was there, from the outset, an appetite for, your elected body and your administration to do this? How did that, what did those conversations look like?
Honestly, it was generally easy because we have two Hispanic city council leaders, and they're allocated a budget each year for what they want to, campaign for. And, both of them decided that they wanted to help out within the AmorGP campaign and just make that a whole brand and make it bigger. And,
Cool.
that help has really generated and made you know what I mean? I feel like made the campaign bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. We it seems like we always run into this that intersection of council priorities and professional staff and budgets and things like that. And interestingly, a lot of times it's a cross section rather than like a stream, everybody moving in the same
Mhm.
direction. And the more perpendicular those are to one another, the harder it is to be successful because your elected officials are, approving the budgets and involved in, they need to understand what is important to the community and then provide that
Mhm.
direction so that we as professional staff can execute against that. But that's not always a given, it's not always a common experience that the way your elected officials talk and the way your professional staff feel or think align well enough to be able to accomplish something like this. And I don't think you can do a
Yeah.
campaign like this without um, holistic buy-in from everybody.
Yeah, no, we're very fortunate that like our city leaders communicate well with one another, and they're very tuned in with the marketing communications department as well. So you know, we try to make sure that everybody is in sync with everything that we're doing together.
Um, Looking back on, this campaign, just in a nutshell of itself, is there anything that you wish you could have done or would have done differently or would have changed?
Honestly, no. I feel like we really reached that mark with doing the most that we could in every area by, more importantly, I think to me, is, making sure that our Spanish speaking residents had that trust within us and the government. And every time that I would go and speak at the outreach events, I would make sure that they felt comfortable as well, and
Yeah.
that they knew that the resources within the website were out there to help them, and that everything that, if they had any questions or concerns, that they could come to us and speak to us about it, that they're not going to get reprimanded in any way, so
Hmm.
and just the tone of it too, just the way that I tried speaking to them, it just helped out so much. And I really enjoy going to all the outreach events and connecting with the residents. It's a lot of fun.
Well, yeah. So along those lines, I mean, just thinking about, I can that sort of experience resonates with me because of the amount of time we spend at like town halls and HOA meetings and things like that. So obviously you have a full-time day job. Had you did you have these outreach events before this campaign, or this was a new sort of like other duty as assigned?
Honestly, I've had previous experience with this. I used to
Mm,
work for the environmental department, and we used to do, I feel like that was a little bit more complicated in trying to educate the public on, environmental safety.
sure.
And, people sometimes they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear
Yeah.
that, they need to be responsible for clean air or, just like to pick up the trash and stuff like that.
Right.
So this one was a lot lighter and a lot easier to kind of get the message across.
That is a fascinating observation because I would certainly agree with you. I think that nobody wants us to tell them that they can't, cover their whole property in concrete for impervious cover, right? And the heartwarming connecting with people on a personal, individual level over things that are rooted in, I mean, who they are as a person, is a much more um, satisfying experience than
Yes.
arguing over, uh, toxic gases or different things like that. That totally makes sense. Um, and yet both are have their own unique opportunities as well. Let's see. Hilda asked, "Do you feel that Hispanics are a lot more difficult to each other now the new nat to each other now the new national environment? Do you feel that Hispanics are a lot more difficult to to reach? I'm sorry, now with the new national environment. So are they harder to reach now than they were before?
At least in our community, I would say no,
Hmm.
because we have created this rapport with them, and
You
they
think this
do feel
campaign?
comfortable. Yes, exactly. And prior to this, we did this campaign, we started it 2 years ago. So it really has helped with creating that connection with them. Um,
Yeah.
as far as like we've heard negative things in our community, not really, to be honest with you. Every time they do have a question or concern, they come directly to us. So, that means that we're doing a good job with them feeling that trust
Yeah.
between, the city government.
And what does that mechanism look like for them reaching out to you? Is it a hotline? Is it a web form, or what's the preferred method there?
Well, social media is one thing. Just whenever
Okay.
we like post anything, they're willing to kind of either through comments or directly message us. Another
Hmm.
another way too is we website too. We have people can go online and report anything there. So we see all those kind of questions and concerns being filtered out through there as well.
Very cool. Um, that's another thing that I mean, especially with more difficult to reach audiences. Um, we always I hope that we're striving for effective two-way communication because
Hmm.
the better the feedback loop, the more effective we can be with communications, and
Exactly.
the harder the group to reach, the harder it is to extract
The
feedback.
information.
Yeah, and the
Yes.
more investment has to be made in care in terms of how we connect with those communities. In
Hmm.
doing that in an authentic way that doesn't feel patronizing and
Yes.
meets people where they are. So this is I don't know. I'm really impressed by this. Megan, do you have any questions for our lovely guest here?
Yeah, I was gonna ask specifically for translating. You mentioned that you translated it into multiple languages. So how many languages was like did y'all do and did y'all use a service or like for any of it or how did that kind of whole process work?
Well, for this website specifically,
Mm.
it was just all in Spanish, and it
Ah,
was all in house. We all did it ourselves. Within like we have a really strong Hispanic team, so we just kind of all proofread and helped each other out whenever we were creating the website, and we were all asking each other just kind of like, okay, what would your mom want to see? Like, how would this have
Mhm.
helped out? Your younger you, and your younger, in that sense of mind, we were thinking. And so on the website, we have like business resources. Um, one of the hot things in the Hispanic community is people always want to find ways to do like garage permits to sell like their items. And then of course all the events that we have on there as well.
No, I love that. And I will say I'm very jealous of y'all being able to do it in-house. I feel like that's something that anyone who doesn't have Spanish speaking staff um, is something that it's a little uh it's a little thing that y'all get to y'all get to have pride that you can do it yourselves. Do you feel like you mentioned, like what would your mom want, especially with the Hispanic culture of being very multi-generational.
Mhm.
Um, did y'all kind of want to incorporate that in any way, specifically, kind of past the website? So either in like y'all's videos or your messaging, of kind of reaching that multi-generational aspect?
Yeah, it was. In one of our videos, we did feature one of our janitors that helps out here at City Hall. And I think that just like, like I said, just connecting with the population in that way that the people that the people that run the city that help us out are the people that look just like you. You know what I mean? And that's
Mhm.
like I said, like it could be your aunt, your mom. They're the ones out here at City Hall making sure that everything is running efficiently.
No, that's been really cool. I really enjoyed it. I know that we were, um, when we were looking at doing a webinar for this month. I will say I always love going during TAMI season because shout out, it's TAMI season, everyone. Don't forget your TAMIs for 2026 are due on, what did we say? The 15th?
March the 15th.
March the
Um,
15th.
so you still have a
Um,
little bit of time, but don't wait till the last minute. Everybody's done it, and it's not good. I'm
but one of
saying that
my
as much for me as I am
I
everybody
know
else.
we're
Just
talking to ourselves when we say that. One of my favorite things to do is go through previous year's winners,
yep.
to see kind of how they phrased things and how like all of the different uh links that you put in, so like your videos and your social and things like that. But it was really cool to see this as underserved audiences outreach campaign, just because, and that's where when we saw that, Josh and I were both like, oh yeah, that would be a really great thing to highlight of how you went through all of this and how you got here. And I love that we got an update on it too with
Yeah.
what happened in 2025.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you about that. So, have you started planning like what's going to happen for 2026 now, or have those, is that premature at this point?
I
It's
think
okay if
right
you can't
now
tell us.
yeah, right now it's a little, we haven't really thought about it. We it was actually really cool. We just won the National League of Cities. Oh, well, we're in the top two contestants for winning the National League of Cities award for this campaign as well. So
Dang,
we're going to
girl.
find out on March 17th whether we're first place or not. But it just kind of goes to show just all the work that we've put into this. I
Heck
think
yeah.
after that meeting is whenever we're going to be able to speak to like our city representatives, the council, and we're going to be able to see what else we can achieve for this year.
You're gonna have a cart to bring all your hardware into council chambers.
Yes, we will.
That's exciting. Well, I mean, congrats on making it to the finalists. I'm sure whoever you're running against doesn't stand a chance. Um,
Thank you.
to Megan's point, as she said, we're in Tammy season, which means we are very quickly marching towards our next conference, which is going to be in Austin this year at the beginning of June, June 3rd through the 5th. Yes, that feels right. Keep an eye out for that because there is going to be the registration for that will be opening in probably I think 6 weeks or so, somewhere along somewhere along that timeline. We're just putting the finishing touches on all of the pieces of content, all of the breakout sessions, making sure that we have everything lined up so that you all know what you're signing up for. But it is, and I say this every year, but it is going to be the best conference we've ever thrown. And I am so excited for not just the speakers, but the whole experience all the way around. If you have new people that haven't had a chance to go to Tamio, highly encourage you, invite them to go because we're going to be doing a little meet and greet with them. And I'm going to hopefully get to spend some time with them and show them the ropes and everything. I always especially enjoy meeting with new timers because we've all been there. We know how overwhelming the whole experience can be, and we need all the great people in this organization and to jump in feet first, and no better way to do that than to meet the goofiest one there. So we are really excited about everything that's coming up. We do have another webinar coming up at the end of March, in just a month from now. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to be talking with Monica Landeros Jimenez from the City of Allen, excuse me, about how to engage the media and what news is looking for, different things like that. So really great information on how to be successful when it comes to media partnerships from a really talented individual. So be on the lookout for that. Get your TAMI award entries in with plenty of time. If you need help on how to enter those things, we are always available, either myself or Sarah Bustillos or your region rep. It can be a long process to get those filled out. I mean, I don't want to offer Diana, but clearly, TAMI award-winning member here. So reach out to anybody that has done this before or any award winner, and I'm sure they'll be happy to help you fine-tune your entries. And then get ready for the next webinar and the upcoming conference. Megan, did I miss anything?
I don't think so, but if anything, always check the Facebook group for
Yes,
any updates.
that as
So
well. Yep.
happy,
And
happy almost March,
yeah,
friend.
you guys enjoy the weather out there. Please get outside, go touch grass because, and again, talking to me, we get wrapped up in our work and we need to remember to take time to take a breath and enjoy all the beautiful campaigns that are out there. So Diana, thank you for taking the time to walk us through this, a really inspiring campaign. I really enjoyed this conversation and love seeing all the elements of it. And I cannot wait to see, well, how many more awards you're going to win, but also what the future of this campaign looks like. So thank you everybody for joining us, and y'all have a good day.
Thanks, friends.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you.